It's by Riley Sager. Ta-da! If you want to let us know, give us a little train emoji if you read it, if you're here for that, or a skull if you haven't read it yet, or you're just here for all the spoilers and you want to know basically what happens in the book. We'll keep it spoiler free for a couple minutes so we can kind of like pitch it to you and maybe you can get an idea based off of our ratings if it's going to be for you. Quickly before I let my co-hosts introduce themselves, just a reminder, next month or this month, August, we're reading Julie Chan is Dead. The Fable book club discussion is already up, so you can go chat about it. And then after that, we'll be reading Killer on the Road and The Babysitter Lives by Stephen Graham Jones for September. So this is a little combo one. But here's what we're here for today. I'll give you the synopsis of it after my friends introduce themselves.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Chanel. I am retired. Yes.
I think you've been retired for every time we've done a live show, pretty much.
I've been retired for like full college degrees worth of time.
Mm-hmm.
But I basically spent all my time on Instagram reading for the Buzzword Reading Challenge. It's literally my lifeline. So that's basically what I do. You can find me on Instagram at Chanel Time, and that is it.
Do you have you been reading a lot this year?
Oh, yes. Oh, I also
have
have
favorites?
a story graph, and I do have some favorites. Yes. Thank you for reminding me about
that.
Well,
I usually pitch it that way, and then I just forgot. I just left you on your own.
You're good. I recently read the Housemaid series by Frida McFadden because I think they're making a movie out of it. And I read the entire series. It is actually quite good. I had the lowest of low expectations. I didn't expect there to be a romance that I would be so invested in, and then being like, ooh, 11 years later, what are we up to? What's going on? And I just really enjoyed it. There's, I think, 3.5 books because one of them is a novella, but it was really good and it was really fast paced. So I really liked that. And then I've also been reading Death by Dumpling, the series.
Oh, nice.
Randomly picked it up. It's so good. It's about a Midwestern Taiwanese American family, and they own a noodle shop, and it's just basically like every book is a different murder, and it's so seeing all the different families in their area called Asia Village, where like people are like, ooh, this so and so immigrated here like years ago, and so, ooh, she's cheating with this person's husband. It's really, really good. And there's definitely like 12 books, and I read all of them in like a month and a half.
Oh wow, I didn't realize there were that many.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's 12 so far.
I've read the first one.
It's pretty good. It was good enough for me to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I liked it. So that's what I've been reading.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's really cool. Hello everyone. I'm Elias over from Elias. I haven't been posting as much. I still do seldomly, I guess. I haven't been reading as much this year. I think I've read a total of like 12 books so far. 13 now after With a Vengeance. Mostly been reading a lot of fantasy and romantasy this year. Unexpectedly. The last 2 books I read were, or I guess one of the good ones was probably The Raven Scholar and The Silver Blood Promise. Both fantasy books. Nothing related to this genre today. But yeah, that has been pretty much it with my reading year. This is my first thriller of the year too.
Well, I can't wait to find out if it was 5 stars and changed your life. Okay, I'm going to give the quick synopsis, and then if you guys could remind everybody kind of like your history with Riley Sager, and put it in the comments too, of like, I don't know, you don't need to rank the entire thing, but like if you want to tell us your favorites, your least favorites, just kind of your experience with him in the past. So the quick summary of With a Vengeance is Anna's family was destroyed years ago by a group of 6 individuals. They're all related to this railroad business and a specific incident that happened. And her plan for revenge is to get them all on a train to confess. Well, she already has proof of everything that they've done, but she wants to confront them. And then at the end of the 13-hour train journey, there's going to be police there to arrest everybody. Her goal is to make their lives not worth living. So she doesn't want to kill them on the train. She wants them to be in prison forever and be miserable. Before she can accomplish that, there is a death on the train, and that kicks off a whole different experience because she's like, I need to you know, finish my plan, I need to actually protect these people and not let everybody die, because I want them all to be arrested. But there is a killer. So that's the vibes. I know you guys have been here for other Riley Sager live shows, so I know has anybody read all of them?
Me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we all have. Wow, I didn't realize it was all of them. All right, what's your favorite? That's what I want to know.
So originally I really, really liked this book and I was like, it's the best he's ever written. And then I was like, So my favorite Riley Sager book that I read is still The Last Time I Lied. I really, really liked The House Across the Lake. I liked that book a lot. And for a while I was like, okay, this has topped The Last Time I Lied. But then I just think that The Last Time I Lied peak. That's the best that he's given, which is sad because it was in 2018, but that's my favorite one. And my least favorite one was Home Before Dark. And that's just because I tend to not really like haunted house, like what's going on with the home stories. So yeah.
Wow, that's so many people's first Riley Sager book.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
I'm so sorry.
You know, I think you could have started off like kind of in a good place because it's like upwards from here.
Yeah, that's true. It is definitely upwards from here.
Okay, I'm sensing a vibe for your ratings.
My favorite one would probably be Lock Every Door or The Last Time I Lied. Those are the two strongest in my opinion. I really like how he leans more into like the horror elements though. Yeah. I think that's his strongest suit for me, more than like murder mystery. But so far his later books have not been hitting. Maybe he needs to go on that hiatus or break that he was.
He was talking about 3 years ago. He's like, this is going to be my last book for a minute. Next month there's an announcement.
Okay, now truly this will be hopefully the last book before another announcement in a couple years.
Okay, here's my ranking. I think, like, in my opinion, Riley Sager has 3 great books.
Yeah.
Home Before Dark, Lock Every Door, and The House Across the Lake, even though I know some of these are less popular than others. I think he has 3 good books with the only one left, The Last Time I Lied and Final Girls. And I think he has 2 flops. With Survive the Night and Middle of the Night.
Survive the Night.
Survive the Night. I like to clear from my memory. This is one of the worst books I've ever read. How did this woman just decide to get in a car with a serial killer over and over again?
Survive the Night was like, oh, rent was due. he needed to submit something.
That was this book.
This one is going to fit into one of those categories. The best, good, or a flop. And I can't wait to tell you.
Tell us.
But first, let's get everybody's rating in the comments now that I've seen your thoughts so far on Riley Sager. I want to know your rating and a 1-sentence, like, spoiler-free reason, and then we'll get into spoilers and we'll really dive in.
Well, at first I gave it 5 stars, and then I gave it 4 stars. And let me explain. It's because when I was initially reading this book, I was like, wow, I miss Riley Sager, and this is dramatic. And also, I feel like he did something different from what I see people doing with, like, and I'm not saying that this is an Agatha Christie retelling, but it was very clear that it's inspired by a lot of Agatha Christie works. And I was like, oh, he added something unique and twisty. But then I was like telling you guys that I joined that other book club that I joined, and we were talking about this book at that meeting, and I was like, lots of good points coming up here. And I was like, that is true. And then I started thinking, sorry, you said 1 sentence, and this is this is the opposite of 1 sentence. But I'll leave it there for now.
Okay, we can get into some ranting in a bit. Oh, 4 stars is good though.
Yeah. It might not stay that way.
Don't be peer pressured. But I hope you do realize this is the With a Vengeance live show. I'm not sure which book you're referring to, Chanel. Because I gave it like 1.5, 2 stars.
Wow. Okay.
I thought it was very like minimum, bare bones, basic, nothing exciting, snooze fest. So
It's a good sentence. All right. Okay, so sometimes with my book club, everybody like loves the book and I hate it. And I have to come on here and it's like so awkward to rant about it. And sometimes the opposite happens when everybody hates my book club book and I had a great time.
Wow.
I agree that this was a 4-star read.
Yeah.
I think that I was engaged from the very beginning. I was hooked. I was interested. I didn't find it slow. Everybody else talks about in their reviews. I predicted most of the reveals, but only like a chapter before the actual reveal. And that was very satisfying. There were plenty of things that surprised me. I think the book is quite stupid in a lot of ways. But nothing was egregious to me. And I had a good time reading it.
Yeah, that's all that matters, honestly. Yeah, that's not fun.
And you know what? This checks out because you guys often like I often don't agree with the average rating, and this is actually Riley Sager's lowest rated book on Goodreads.
Is it really?
It has and it's only been out for a couple months. It is
What's the
so
rating?
lowly rated, and I had a fine time. I thought it was good. And that's really like that's how things go for me. I always disagree with the masses. So
And that's a 3.42. That is really low.
the girlies are hating it.
Girlies are feeling. We're all feeling it. The minority.
But Elias can feel like the representative.
Yes. The people are on.
No, but I'm really glad that you guys liked it. Like I was like, hopefully there'll be some twists, and there was.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess let's get into spoilers so we can really explain everything.
Okay.
I've been waiting for this one.
Oh. I want to know your thoughts on Anna first off as a main character. Like, did you find her relatable? Did you think the choices she made are choices you would make, or did you find her empathetic? Like, what were your initial vibes for her as the main character?
Okay, so Anna, I'm not gonna lie, it was the reason why this went from a 5 to a 4. When I started thinking about her, because to me, I understand that she's sad and upset and miserable about what happened to her family and that she lost her mom killed herself, and then her dad, like the whole situation with her dad, and then he got stabbed in jail, right? Like he was there, and so they were like, all right, time for you to be gone. And I was like, oh, okay, that was quick. But I understand she's miserable about that. But Anna was, yes, she was so dumb. I was like, wow, you make me feel smart, because she spent all of her money on this goddamn train ride, and then had no plan, no thought process of, oh, I'm getting 6 people who have committed egregious crimes and hundreds of people have died for them. One of them's a Nazi, and it's going to be all right. Nobody's going to kill anybody. We're going to be on this train with these criminals who don't want to be caught. And I'm shocked that somebody has committed a crime. And I just don't understand what she thought she was going to do after this train.
She just wanted to have a long chat.
Right. She was like, what bills? What future? So I'll say that for now, so I can let someone else speak. If I say more, I'm gonna keep talking the entire live show.
Contrary to Chanel, she was part of the reason why I lowered my rating from like a mid book, like a 3, to like a 2 to like a 1.5, because her trajectory from the beginning of the book to the end made no sense to me. A lot of the decisions that she made, I literally almost like could not believe what I was reading at some points. Like the things that she deduced or went about, and some of the things that she came across, like the answers, were just too coincidental or lucky. Like everything was just laid out in front of her, and she just, I don't know, she was just perhaps one of the worst main characters I've ever read in any Riley Sager book. I was actually more interested in some of the I think Sal like was probably the most interesting character to me. Like I wish, I don't know, Riley leaned more into like morally great character. Maybe Anna did like kill somebody or something.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that would have been really interesting. But my little thing is just very simple. I did not like Anna at all.
Yeah.
But I can see your point though.
I liked reading from Anna's perspective because for everything you just said, she is stupid and things just coincidentally fall into her lap. And I'm just having a silly, goofy time. I think she was making all the stupid decisions. And I just think that's realistic for her character. I think the lifestyle that she grew up in, and it would be like the average person completing these tasks. Like she's not a hyper intelligent spy. She's never done anything like this before, but she was like, I'm going to get vengeance and this is my plan. And I still want to be a good person and not kill anybody. But this is the only way I can think to get the FBI this information and deliver all of these people on one train. And things are just going to work out for me. And I love that she went into it with that perspective because she wasn't prepared for everything that happened. She wasn't prepared for anybody who was going to cross her or fight back. And I think that's just so realistic for this character, and that's why I think it was fun to read. I think her
very true. I mean, everything worked out well for her.
It's true.
Yeah.
She gets to become an FBI agent.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because I feel like I want somebody. Her resume is literally on that train. Her resume is the train ride. Let's talk about how.
I mean, this time period.
Right. Like, let's talk about how that equals, let's give her an FBI. Because I will say I did enjoy, like, Anna was so stupid, but it was also fun reading from her perspective because I was like, girl, I know you're not gagged that somebody is framing you right now. Like, her being like, not me being framed. Who else would be framed but you? Who else?
My favorite was when somebody got stabbed. And he was like, whoever it was got stabbed, and he was like, it was Judd. Or no, they didn't
Reggie?
say who it was at first. He was like, I got stabbed. And she was like, I could have asked who, but I didn't. I was like, why not? I just think this book is so unserious, and that's why I had a good time with it. I like that. I like when we can agree on things, but we have different ratings. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I agree we were reading about a normal, stupid person. And for me, that was fun. I don't want to read about a diabolical, super hyper intelligent woman. Like I've gotten that in other books. Somebody who really makes the plan happen, because then we wouldn't have a plot. Like none of the things that happened in the book would have happened. She would have completed her goal, and she would have been intelligent enough to put them all in one room instead of giving them all separate beautiful spaces.
So many times.
And she would have fucked up.
Yeah. And she's still like, even the part where, so in Reggie is the cop, like for everybody who doesn't remember who he is, because he was quite the character. But like when Reggie got introduced, I was immediately like, that's the killer.
Oh yeah.
Because the way he was patting her down and he felt that, was it like a gun or a knife or whatever she was carrying? And he was like, anyways, that's none of my business.
No, he was just like, girl, same.
He was like, oh, we're the same. Like,
yeah, he was definitely the most intriguing character to me because as soon as he popped up, I mean, I don't know about anyone else and their, deducing skills. No way I was going to guess he was an FBI agent. Like that was a fantastic reveal for me.
Really?
What?
The second you said, I'm on this train and I got lost, I was like, he's a cop.
Oh my God. I just thought he was
wow.
Like,
no, maybe you should be an FBI agent.
When he pulled out his list of names and like he was like, I have a boss, I was like, okay, well, he sat there to like, I fell for all of Riley Sager's red herrings. Like I really did. I was like, yep, this guy's a bad guy, he's there to kill everybody. And then he was like, I'm an FBI agent, and I was like, you are.
I wish I could have been that gagged. Because the second that man popped up, I was like, it's giving police officer. It's giving, especially when he was doing the pat downs, I was like, it's giving this is his day job. Right.
All right.
Oh my God. Also, oh my goodness. Especially because, I just have so much.
There's some good points.
Oh. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? I wish I could have been like you, Lala. I wish I could have been like you. Because I was and Edith is the only person who I don't know what came upon. I did not even think she was going to be that sort of, even though there were so many little clues. There were so many clues to Edith being what she was
Mhm.
that when
That's
I
sympathizing.
read that part of the book, I was like, as soon as I read that, I was like, somebody better stab her quickly. Somebody
Okay,
better
so
get her.
what side characters were you most interested in? Like who were you most suspicious of? Like when you met the sixth cast at the beginning, we had Judd, Herb, Jack, Sally, Edith, and Dante. Who were you like thinking at that point? Because we know in the synopsis that someone's gonna die.
Yeah.
Did you have any predictions of who was gonna die, who was gonna kill them? Like who were you suspicious of? Who were you thinking about, I guess, at the beginning?
Oh,
You can go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say from the beginning, the person who I suspected. Well, I didn't suspect. Was Judd the Brokey?
Oh, I don't remember.
Hold on. Let me. I think
He was
I
the
have.
first person who got poisoned. Or he
Yeah,
faked his poison.
Yeah,
right?
but their background, I don't remember if he was.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think.
I don't
Hold on.
remember.
I wrote some notes about it. Hang on.
Some of them were
Because I
still
think-
rich. Some of them had nothing.
Yeah, because I think Judd. No, it's not. Herb. Herb was the
Okay.
one who was broke as a joke, and I didn't suspect him for a second because I was like, he
Her.
is too broke to be even processing what's going on here.
Mm.
This
Sure.
man has bigger problems than murder. But at the same time, I was like, he probably is envisioning that if he does, because I was like, if he goes to jail, he's probably going to be like, great. Now I don't have to worry about, because he kind of mentioned, I feel like through the book, he mentioned something about how he wouldn't have to worry about food or a roof over his head. So I was like, he's already going to jail.
Sure.
It's not him. So I didn't suspect him. And I also didn't suspect Dante because that's Pookie.
Fucking dad.
I every single hour that I was listening to this audiobook, I was like, if it's Dante, I'm gonna cry.
I was
Mhm.
suspecting Dante before we got the background that they were like romantically linked.
Yeah.
Before that, I was like, well, my thing was I thought Dante was going to die. I thought he was going to be the one who died because that would have lured his father to the train,
Yeah.
probably. And then she could have gotten her revenge because she's like, I still have to kill Kenneth by the end of this. How am I going to get him here? And I thought like maybe Dante was going to die. Maybe Anna was going to do it. Like, I have no idea. That was my thoughts about Dante. And then as soon as it said they were like a thing, I was like, oh, well, he's going to live to the end now.
Yeah.
I actually thought my suspicions were really big on Anna in the very beginning to me, but as I continued reading, I thought legitimately, I thought it was oh my god, what's his name? Seamus?
Oh,
Seamus,
Seamus,
yeah.
Seamus.
I thought it was Seamus and one of the side characters working together. It was, I mean, people were, but it was just different people. I think Sal, because Sal's twist got me a lot, or like the end, or some of the twists got me still.
Mm-hmm.
But I was most intrigued with Seamus and Sal just because of like you get to know some of their backstory later on.
Yeah.
Like their motivations were a lot stronger
Yeah.
for me than most of the other characters.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, wait, Sal and Anna, wait, but I guess not. Or Seamus.
I saw a comment about, oh my gosh, and I have to tell you guys a really funny quick story about this. There was a comment that just mentioned, gotta love the only German character being a Nazi. And I have two things to say about this. One, I constantly kept forgetting that this book was set in 1942.
Oh, same.
Because everybody gave such, I know what TikTok and iPhones are, that when they made that fake bullet in Sal's, I was like, they must have Googled it. And then I remembered that they didn't have Google. So at no point in this book did it feel like they were actually in the 1940s.
Yeah.
I will say
Yeah.
that. But
I actually didn't realize or know that this book took place in the 1950s. Until I read the first page, I was like, oh, we're going back in time? Isn't this a thriller? And I was like, oh, we already went through this with Survive the Night.
Yeah, like he didn't
That was
do a
my
good
first.
job in creating an atmosphere. That's the one thing I'll say.
Yeah.
And then the other thing about the German character, oh my God. As I was reading this book, I have a coworker who's German. Her parents are German immigrants, and she is like fluent in German and is German. And I'm reading this book, and I'm like, oh my God, you should read this book. It's a German. I get to
Freeze
the
frame.
twist about Edith. I texted her and I went, never
Forget
mind.
everything I said.
Forget everything that I said, because I thought that we had this precious German woman who somehow had made an error because she kept calling Anna by that like cute name that Anna was like, don't call me that. But I was like, she must have done some wrongs. Maybe she was trying to like some health crisis, and then they revealed her to be. And I was like, and I just spent all week talking to my German friend about how she should read this book because it's a lovely German woman.
Find her another book recommendation real quick.
Yeah, I was like, never mind.
Yeah, Tommy was an interesting character for me too because he kept getting mentioned. This is another red herring I fell for. He mentioned a couple times that his casket was empty, and I was like, Tommy's gonna show up.
No,
he tricked me.
I thought
I was never there.
I was really hoping. Okay, in other books, when Riley leans into supernatural, I'm like, ugh. But with this one, because it was so damn slow, especially in the first half, I was really hoping, holy shit, this is gonna be a supernatural horror element to it. Tommy's alive, but he's a supernatural figure, you know, or something like that. And they're all trapped in limbo.
Yeah.
All right.
But she was just dreaming or something. Like she would faint in the trains, just like randomly with all the lights. I thought he was alive.
I have so many. I forgot if this is one of the questions that you were planning on asking, Kayla, but I would really at some point love to hear what you guys think about the different motivations the characters had. This might have been a question that you had already.
I think so.
Okay, because let me continue because I have things to say. I have things to say.
As far as their motivations on the train, or like how they got to where they are.
Their motivations for joining that dumb ass plan.
Yeah, I think like Kenneth is such an unrealistic character because like how did he know all these things about all these people and have to blackmail them to begin with?
And he was just like conducting the entire time in this little room. Just
I love that was the reveal because again I didn't see it coming and I don't know why. I thought it was going to be Tommy. Maybe that's why like, my mind got stuck there. I was like, he's the conductor. But the fact that Kenneth was on the train the entire time, like maybe I thought Kenneth could be on the train at some point, but not the conductor. Their motivations leading up to it, I think made sense because like they, don't have a lot of access to. We have to remember, I think it's the 40s. So like, especially with Sal being a queer woman, it was like, yeah, of course she would do absolutely anything to survive that because somebody finding out like that could have meant like death for her. What were the other characters even like blackmailed for? Do I remember?
Yes, I saved the because I was like, I am so angry thinking about it. So oh my goodness. Okay. So
are you sure you gave it 4 or 5 stars? That's crazy.
I know, because that's the thing. I feel like I am able to talk about things I hated about a book that I rated highly because for me, half of my reading and things is the experience. And if I can say something about being like, this is so dumb, this character's so dumb, I feel like maybe that's what the author wanted. I like to delude myself and be like, maybe Riley was just so smart that he knew that this character would be so stupid that I would have something to say. Because I feel like, okay, Lapsford was like the military guy who was like super ambitious, and he was like, I'm going to join this because I'm an ambitious man who wants to be respected. You're dumb. And then Judd being like, I'm an engineer who's in the background and nobody knows that I'm the one.
Oh yeah, he wanted the accolades.
I was like, you are so dumb because why would you want to be the person who created a train that has killed so many people? Why do you want people to know that that's what you made? How is that going to get you a job?
Yeah, I guess it's because like the man in charge of him was the one who was going to get blamed for everything.
Yeah, but I was still like, I would not want my name. Oh yeah, me? Fair. I'm the one who created that train that killed all those innocent people. You should hire me to make yours. I was just like...
True. I mean, they all did take part in building a train that killed like 40 people.
Right. And I just feel like the only person who had even a somewhat forgivable reason for being on board was Sal, because they were going to expose her as being gay. And they had all those pictures that were going to, you know what I mean? Like her life really in that time would have been destroyed completely. She's the only one who I think had like, why are we feeling bad for Edith?
Yeah.
Like people be like,
See,
"Oh,
that's
I need
that's the
this."
main thing. Like, there's so many characters where half of them I didn't even care about or care
Yeah.
for. So it made me hard to like grasp or even relate to any of these people, aside for like Edith, maybe, or not Edith. Oh my god, not Edith.
Sal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I also thought originally that Jug, or not Jug, what's his name, Dante would be
Yeah.
like related to like Anna or something, where the
Oh.
Kenneth was gonna be a plot twist, like, hey, plot twist, the reason why I hated you guys together because he's your half brother or something. I would have been like, oh shit, that would
Right.
have been like a twist, but
I wish they had
I'm like
talked
stirring up all
about
these
that.
little twists in my mind.
I really wish that they had been like, maybe that's why my mom didn't want me to be with Dante because he's
Mhm.
my brother. And she knows that. They just like danced. They were like, anyways.
Yeah, I think like giving them a half brother in common was a really interesting reveal. I also didn't
Yeah.
see that coming at all. And then I've seen in a couple of people's reviews, they're like, of course, Riley Sager made it incestuous. And I was like, no, but he didn't. He didn't actually. He could have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't quite go
an
there.
interesting twist.
Yeah. I don't think because she didn't know and he didn't know. And at the time that they're knowing right now, they're like, anyway, let's go our separate ways now.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he didn't make them stay together in the end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
But-
glad that he didn't.
But I think he didn't because I have a thought.
Mhm.
I think this is a pretty traditional, like commercial mystery compared to other Riley Sager, and I want to know if anybody's enjoying that direction. It seems like people are not. But I want to say I like this direction, not
Mhm.
because I personally would like continue in a series, but I think this is set up to be a series. I think that Riley Sager should now
Mhm.
continue this for a couple years and make Anna the FBI agent. And we follow her through multiple books and she solves multiple mysteries and has multiple love interests. And maybe that's why he didn't commit to Dante, because this is my big theory. This is going to be a series for him. And he's tired of writing a book every year about and coming up with a new idea because everybody's hating it and he feels
Yeah.
sad. And so now he can take off on this series in a mystery novel. And then listen, he can write these mindless, cozier mysteries. And behind the scenes, he can finally come up with another good idea that can rival the 3 good books he's had. Because when he does the crazy twists, that's when I'm on board.
Not someone saying, I
Okay.
hope he's not watching this. Riley Sager threatens to release another Anna book. Here's my thing.
No, Kayla, I can see the vision. You know,
I think that's what he should
I
do.
think it would be interesting. Maybe like if they were on a plane, but he would incorporate some supernatural elements to it. I
Yeah.
think that would be really
Mhm.
interesting to explore.
Yeah.
But
I think that I can see what you're saying, and I think it would be interesting. I do think that perhaps that Riley Sager needs to come up with less ideas and focus on working, because this book, I will say, was the first time in a long time that I felt that Riley Sager did not know how to, I don't know what the right phrasing for this is, like his character work needed some help. And I usually don't feel that way about his character work. I usually feel that his characters are very interesting, are very compelling, are very fun. But I do think he struggled with that in this. And I think if he does move on with Anna, he's going to have to make her interesting.
Mm.
Because she was, the most interesting about her was her stupidity. So I think she can't be stupid forever.
I mean, who knows? You gave this book 4 or 5 stars, so maybe the stupidity is winning.
I just think like financially, this man clearly is writing a book a year.
Yeah.
And a lot like this is our 6th year of reading Riley Sager every summer. And the general consensus is you all don't like this man's writing. Like every single time we come for a live show, the comments are like, this was not it. I like him less than I did last time. Like we need to stop reading him for this goddamn book club. And I'm like, I'm still having a fine time. But in order for him to get back to what you guys did enjoy years ago, and my favorites did come out years ago, I think he needs to take a break. But I don't think he will. So maybe he can just write something stupid. And then eventually his mind will be free to come up with some grand concept, because he's getting so much more commercial. Like I said this last year too with Middle of the Night, is every single year his books are more feeling like debuts, like they feel like the first things that you write.
Yeah.
His good ideas came so long ago, and now he's going to just write such traditional stuff. And I think that's fine. So spend a couple years doing this and then come out with a banger in a couple years.
You know,
I think it'll
agree.
happen.
I agree, because what I gotta say though with his books is that they're super digestible and just like
Yes.
super accessible for, especially with newer people in the, like, if they want to get into the thriller genre. Like this is like a lot of people's like first time, and I feel like it's kind of like a perfect entry. But I do see this one. I don't know why specifically with A Vengeance being. I feel like if it was made into like a limited series or a movie, I think it would be really interesting
Oh,
to
it would
really
be-
watch, because there's so many like twists
would
at the
be-
end. I mean, the other ones
Wait,
too, but this one would be
That's
really
what that's
interesting.
what he should do. Take a couple years off. He can still make money writing the show.
Yes.
Yeah, you're correct.
He should
That's
not
what
give us another book. He should go
Mhm.
into TV.
that's what Gillian
writing.
Flynn did. Gillian Flynn wrote a couple incredible books, and then she disappeared to write the shows and the whatever. And then when she comes
Yeah.
back, it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. The one reason why I think about this is because I just finished watching this show on Netflix called The Hunting Wives, and I didn't read the book,
Ooh,
but
that's
the
on my
show is
list.
crazy. The show is
Yeah.
crazy, and I was like, you know, the book is very different, but it's giving me like in terms of like twists and like upping the scale, especially towards the end. The With a Vengeance is giving sort of that vibe. So-
It feels like a show. Yeah.
I mean,
do
Riley, if you're watching this, tell me ideas.
I don't know if he was watching it, if he made it to this point.
He probably knows. Like, damn.
Okay, I have 3 reveal questions. Like, I want you to tell us about a reveal you saw coming, or a reveal that surprised you, a reveal that maybe you predicted or thought was coming but didn't. So first, let's focus on anything that you saw coming. Like, what was your biggest, like, the reveal happened and you were like, obviously,
Reggie's the killer.
Yeah.
a killer, one
Yeah,
of
a killer.
multiple.
One of the kill. One of 3.
hmm
I also saw Reggie being a cop coming, and then as soon as I realized he was a cop, I was like, oh, he's definitely committed one of these murders for sure. Like I had a slight feeling because I was like, why wouldn't he just be like, I'm a cop, all of you bitches get together. In the corner, all of you now. Like I was like, he's doing something. Yeah, Seamus being a killer didn't surprise me at all. Especially once they like revealed that he was holding on some pills. I was like, he's dying.
Oh, really?
The second that it's funny because when I was reading it, when they like revealed, oh, he was in his pocket or whatever, he had pills, I was like, he's dying. This is a dying man.
Oh,
So
I thought he was probably like drugging Anna, or that was the poison later.
Mm.
As soon as we saw him with pills, though, I assumed he was going to kill someone or was the main killer, because we find out that he had a different, I don't remember when in the book it was. So like maybe I didn't see it from the beginning, but as soon as he mentioned like him and Anna were working together and he wanted to kill the people and she didn't, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well then he's probably the killer. So him killing anybody was definitely a prediction I had. Okay.
Oh yeah, Reggie stabbing himself. I was like, you stabbed yourself. I watched too many Scream movies for this to happen. Please.
I also had a feeling about that, and that's one that felt satisfying to me, because I was only like a chapter before it got revealed. I was like, maybe he stabbed himself, because at that moment I was like, oh wait, he never saw Judd. I don't know why that came into my mind, but I was like, wait, because he never saw Judd. And then he was like, Judd stabbed me, but Judd was supposedly under a blanket the entire time because he was killed. So I was like, how would you know it was Judd?
Exactly.
Damn.
I feel like
everyone in this chat could be an FBI agent. From
Right?
Do you see this crazy?
Yeah, okay. I was just gonna say this comment about Kenneth being on the train the whole time. I did not expect that, and I also did not expect Kenneth being Tommy's dad, only because I was like, no way. He is revenge final boss. You orchestrated this entire thing because the woman that you wanted did not want you back.
Yeah. She was stolen from him.
It was crazy.
I had originally thought that Anna was gonna be Kenneth's like a daughter or something, not Tommy.
Oh.
So that's why I was like, oh my god, that's why he didn't want Dante and Anna together, because they're like half
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so that's when you thought was coming, a reveal, but it didn't
Yeah.
actually pan out. Mine, for one that I predicted, I think was that Tommy was going to be alive and that he was going
Yeah.
to be on the train at some point.
Mhm.
Seamus and his pills, I thought were to drug Anna or to poison somebody. I thought the first death was going to be Dante because he was like really annoying. And I was like, of course, the man who's not even supposed to be there is going to be the dead
Yeah.
one. And then I thought maybe at one point, I was like, maybe Anna set this whole thing up and she actually does want to kill everyone, but she's pretending she doesn't. And then she can frame someone on the train and be like, I just wanted to be all innocent, but they all just happened to die.
That would have been such a good twist.
I wanted that so bad. That's what I wanted the story to be, that Anna would get on there and be like, why would I want all of you to die? I want you to go to jail. And then she
Mhm.
was secretly orchestrating.
Oops,
She's a
you're
serial
dead.
killer. She's a serial killer getting invited to be an FBI agent. That would
Well,
have been cool.
that's what I'm saying. Because also, another thing too, because when I saw Seamus with the pills, I thought that I don't know why my brain was like, oh my God, it would have been so tea if she had pretended that, oh, she didn't want to kill anyone. And then her and Seamus or had some agreement, or she was manipulating. And I know Seamus was her friend, yada, yada, yada. But like, I was like, I really wish that she had been manipulating him. So that way she could frame him as the killer. But then because he's already dying, he confesses and then kills himself anyway, the way he was already going to do. And then Anna ended up being the only person alive while every other person who betrayed her family had died a vicious, evil death. That's what I wanted.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been so good.
I also thought it was really, really funny. Going on a little tangent, but I thought it was so funny how Anna and Reggie, they were just like beating each other up, chasing each other on top of trains, almost dying, for them to like, you know what? Let's join hands.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
like, oh my
for
god.
when we talk about favorite scenes, that's one that I was going to bring up because, like, of course, you have to have a rooftop train fight. Like, you're on a
Mhm.
train. Of course, he wants us to be adapted. You have to have that scene. Like, there's two things that have to happen in a train movie. It's either you're on top of the train and you're fighting, or you're like holding someone's head right next to the tracks as it's going and you're going to kill them. Like,
Yeah.
and we got the top of the train, and I thought that scene was so ridiculous because suddenly they were fighting and she was like, just kidding.
And also,
I'm
wasn't
not-
there like
He broke his nose
snowstorm
and
or
everything.
something going on? I feel like there was snow or like a blizzard or something, and I was like, "How are you guys on this train?" How
You
are
know
you?
what's so funny? Because at the end, he was in the wheelchair. He's like, you know what, girl? We good. I'm turning myself in. You're gonna be an FBI agent. See ya.
He was like, "I hope you get that job." It was so crazy to me because also I feel like another thing too that happens a lot in train thrillers / horrors is there's always a freaking window that people are like, "How did somebody enter or leave?" The window. It's
Oh my God,
always
we forgot there was a window.
we forgot there was a window in this train.
Okay, any reveals that did surprise you? I guess we've already talked about a couple. You know,
Oh,
most
Sal
of
being
them,
alive. The fake out.
most of them got me.
That was surprising. That's surprising.
Oh yeah, for the people who said they knew that Judd was faking his death, you are
I did not know
masterful.
that.
No
Yeah,
way,
I
I
did not
thought
know
Judd
that.
was faking his death. The fact that the whole book and the whole mystery hinged on who poisoned Judd, and it turns out he was never poisoned, I was gagged by that.
Yeah.
Because there were
Yeah.
other things like where Jack pretended he was dead, where someone else pretended they was dead.
Yeah.
Like my biggest critique of this book is all of the fake deaths.
Yes.
I think some of them.
And Sal's fake death was so dumb.
Mhm.
I don't understand how anybody believed that some goddamn nail
Lipstick
polish
and
and
nail polish.
lipstick was
How
a
did Jack
gunshot.
tear a hole?
I was like, how did you, like, what was going
one
on?
checked
How
the
did
pulse.
they believe that?
Yeah, but Judd's fake death, I was like,
You know what?
That
That's
was a
probably
good one.
why Anna became like indoctrinated into the FBI agent.
mm,
Everything was just so easy to fake out.
They were like, we heard about your little trick with that nail polish and lipstick. How'd you do it? And since we're obviously in pre-Google era, how did you know?
Things were just so easy back then.
what else? I think Dante being a good guy, and he's the one who sent the information to her aunt.
Yeah.
That surprised me. Kenneth being the conductor,
Yeah.
which, like, at the end of the day, it is so obvious because, like, again, Anna's a moron. Like, how would the owner of the company not be privy to the fact that you hired an entire train and a conductor and you were like paying all of these people. Like how did you think he wouldn't know that? You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that one
And
got
do
me.
you guys think Seamus is dead or he's still alive and he found a cure?
Oh, I think he
He's
died.
dead.
I think that was him. I think that was nice that he got to choose his own end, you know?
Yeah.
And I like to imagine he's not just like dead on the side of the, you know, railroad tracks, but that's just how it is. He got to choose his own ending.
Yeah.
I still think he's alive.
Oh,
Found a
wow.
cure.
Maybe he'll come back in the sequel.
Maybe.
Maybe he'll come back. Yeah, maybe Riley Sager will write with a return.
Or it'll be his POV.
He just leapt off the train. We don't really know what happened. It was implied that anybody would die, but if I was one of the people on the train, I definitely would have jumped, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
want to go to jail.
Like, I'm sorry,
And-
but I would rather jump and risk dying out
Yeah,
there.
I break my leg, but I'm gonna find a way. I'm probably rich. I'm
Yeah.
gonna crawl to the closest town. I'm gonna give somebody lots of money. They're gonna fly me. Commercial flight just became a thing around this time, you
Yeah.
know, the late 40s.
Yeah.
So
You guys, I would never be in this situation because I would never even have gone on the train.
Right.
fair.
I would have been like, oh, weird invite. I know what that means. I'm staying at home. I'm not going anywhere. I just think that, like, another thing that shocked me, this is not even about the killings or anything, but when her aunt bitch slapped her,
Oh, I was so sad.
I was like, Anna, you should have slapped that old lady back.
Yeah, that one fucked me up when it was like she learned to hone her rage
Yeah.
Like, hold
because of this
everything in.
abuse. I was like, oh my god.
That's another reason why I hoped that she would have been the one to be actually killing all these people. And then she and Seamus had made some sort of agreement, like, hey, you had about 3 weeks left. Let's kill these people.
She was a child, Jacob.
Jacob, you're cold. You're cold to that.
That's crazy.
Jacob said, I don't care that she's an orphan.
Okay, so Jacob's favorite scene when Anna gets slapped. My favorite scene, I think it was when we found out that Sal's blackmail had to do with her being with a woman, just because I
Yeah.
think it was surprising and it made me feel for a character,
Mhm.
and I hadn't really felt
The
for any of
most.
them until that point.
Yeah.
And then, the one kind of reveal, I guess, when Reggie, like, we thought Reggie was on her side and gave Anna a gun, and then she went to shoot him, and he was like, "You thought I'd give you a gun with bullets?" I was like, ah!
Yeah.
I love that little moment. And then the fight on top of the train, because it was just so stupid that I had a good time reading it.
The scene that stood out the most to me, truly, was hey, how do you feel about joining the FBI? It was giving like
The ending.
Scooby-Doo ass
Yes!
endings. Like,
Reggie in a wheelchair,
right.
broken nose.
That entire ending just gave, and I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those damn kids.
It wasn't like, here's an opportunity to learn about the FBI or to come like, here, maybe I'll set up an interview. It's like, hey, want to be in the FBI?
We
Right.
got guts.
Like, you're definitely one for us. We'll hire you right now.
We don't know anything about you. We haven't spent the last 13 hours with you, but by the looks of it, you could be an FBI agent.
It was wild. Yeah, I did also feel sad about Sal's experience, and because as soon as she was like, this gorgeous woman is coming up to me, I was like, don't do it. I was like, no. And it's because I've been reading so many mysteries that I was like, girl, you're about to get some photographs in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
You're cooked.
Okay. Any other favorite scenes, or we'll switch to what you would change, because I feel like
Made it supernatural, made it more
Okay.
horror, made
Mhm.
Anna go off the rails, or
Yes.
more unreliability.
I just don't think that Anna had enough breakdowns for me.
oh sure.
Because you're telling me that you're in a train with all the people who destroyed your entire family. She was just a little bit too calm for me. Like, and also everybody, and I know it was the 40s and whatever, but I just feel like everybody was a little bit too nonchalant about Edith.
You know
Too
what?
nonchalant. Like, they were, I'm sorry, but and I'm especially hurt by Edith because as you know, I thought that this was a lovely old woman who had made
Chanel has been personally hurt.
who made this terrible error. And I was like, oh, maybe after this, her and Anna can rekindle their relationship because she's the only
Fucking
older
dead.
woman who can be here for Anna in her grief. So I was really, really hurt.
I did not.
I was like,
I was not surprised, Chanel. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Poor Chanel.
I literally was like, if you guys don't yellow jackets this bitch right now, like I'm tired. If anyone understands that reference. But anyway,
I did.
I would change that.
I think the only thing I could think of a list of things that were ridiculous,
Yeah.
but if you took them out, then there would be no plot. So it's like I kind of like everything that was in here. The one thing was the confrontation with Kenneth because he's being treated as like this big, bad, all powerful train man. And then when he comes out of the room and he's the conductor, it felt like a real big moment. But then within 5 pages, he was like, no, don't shoot me. And I was like, what happened to
Some
like
villain.
the big villain?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was expecting a little more confrontation with him. I like how it worked out because she just shot him in the leg so he could go to prison as she intended. But I thought we could have, maybe 30 more pages of a little more back and forth.
Yeah.
Mm.
I also feel like I would have changed, and I understand the power of love and loss and pain, but I truly feel that we should have had at least one added reason for why Kenneth did all that.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
just maybe a little bit more juice. Like, I'm not saying
Mhm.
that knowing that some other man is raising your son isn't a big deal. I'm really not saying that. And I don't think that they would have had DNA testing really at that time, right? Because in the 40s.
Can you imagine if he was wrong?
Sure.
Like, actually, tell me.
Right. Because I'm like, bitch, you can just grab a hairbrush. But he really couldn't. He really couldn't. So I just think maybe a little bit more of some, like maybe they were childhood friends and he spent his entire life
Some more
watching,
layers.
yeah,
Mhm.
like
Give him a
watching
little
Anna's
more nuance.
dad steal everything from him, like just a little bit more.
Yeah, because like there is also the reason that his son died, and he said that August was responsible for that because he encouraged him to go into the war to begin with, so he felt a sense of vengeance, and that makes sense. But he wasn't close to Tommy,
Exactly.
so it doesn't feel like the biggest reason. Like maybe there should have been a little more. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you guys down with Riley Sager or what?
Oh, I'm reading the next book.
Me too.
Unfortunately, as it is, I will probably read the next one.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's
I'm
gonna,
into
he's
it
gonna come out with
now.
the most intriguing sounding synopsis, and you're gonna go, "Oh my god, fine."
Yeah, we're in it too deep at this point. We're like what 8? How many books is it right now?
This is 9.
Yeah.
9.
9.
I mean,
You
why not
gotta read
all
the
way
10.
now? Yeah, have to.
Yeah.
Gotta have to.
I'm like that friend in a toxic relationship that's like, well,
Coming back.
he's done it again. Y'all pretend you didn't hear what I said about him last time, but I'm back. Exactly. Like I'm back.
I'm not committing to for sure next year. It depends on the synopsis. It really does, because this one, like, I feel like I was just sucked into the fact that we're doing Riley Sager every year, and I was like 6 years, like we might as well do it. This synopsis like was not the most intriguing to me. I wasn't like I have to read this for the book club, but I had to read Riley Sager for the book club. Next year, I promise, it's only if the synopsis like really sounds good. Like if it sounds juicy, we'll do it. If it sounds like the last couple ones, I think we could skip it. I think,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
I'm going to be so for real. I did not read the summary of this book not one goddamn time.
Me too.
That's
Me
also
too.
why all I saw was the message in my DMs of Lala being like, hey, would you like to co-host and pick one? And I was like, Riley Sager, obviously. And so that's why when I was like, we're in the 40s.
My
That's
exact
also why I was
reaction.
shocked at Miss Edith, because I didn't even know where we were. You could told me this book was set in 2024, and I would have believed it.
For his 10th
That would
book,
have made her betrayal so much stronger.
Yeah.
You're like, in this day and age?
I mean, he's written in the past and the current day. Maybe he'll write a futuristic thriller. We can all read that.
Maybe he can write present day and she's still solving mysteries.
We'll invite him to the live show.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Riley, answer for your crimes.
Oh, I love book clubs where people interview the authors, but that could never be me.
Oh no, same.
I
Absolutely
could
not.
never interview an author ever because whenever I go to, oh my gosh, whenever I go to like those events like what's it called, like Y'all Fest and stuff like that, I ask the authors questions that don't even make sense. Like when I met Jennifer Lynn Barnes at her signing, I was like, "So, what was your experience in your grad program like?" And she was like, "Girl." And I was like, "I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't give a damn about your writing process for this book. I really don't. I want to know what you thought about grad school."
That's crazy. I don't disagree.
Yeah,
Mm.
and it's gonna flop. I'm sorry, unless he does some serious work. Unless he does some serious
Flop
work,
is
it's
crazy.
gonna flop.
Okay,
Who
my
knows?
last
Maybe that could be the next one. The next book club pick.
question. Any similar books, movies, media that you would recommend that have a similar vibe to this?
The Hunting Wives on
Oh
Netflix.
yeah, I liked the book. I really liked the
Oh,
book.
I didn't even read it, but
I don't
watched
think
the
I've
show.
ever heard of what you're talking about.
It's very
Does it
murder
have
mystery
bullets on
heavy.
the cover?
Yes.
Yes.
It was a book of the month pick a while ago.
Okay, I think I've
That's
seen
what I
Yeah.
found
it.
about it.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's about like these rich moms.
Midwestern moms.
These rich Midwestern
Right-winged
moms who have like an elite clique. And it's really, really, really good. I really liked it a lot. The book was quite good. And I've heard that the show has some queer elements.
The
that
show is better, in my
All
opinion.
right.
Yeah, I can believe that even from the stuff that I've seen so far.
But it does not take place on a train. Like it's a totally different vibe, but it's just the twists are so crazy.
Okay.
Like one after another.
I'm trying to see if I've read anything notable that I'd be like, yeah, well, I'll tell you what I don't recommend.
That works too.
I don't recommend You Are Fatally Invited.
Okay.
Who's the author?
If I can, it's by Andy.
Pliego. We read it for the book club this year.
This one. Y'all can see I gave that book 2 stars.
I gave it a 4.
That's craziness.
That's craziness.
There's a whole live show if you want my
I'm
thoughts.
gonna have to watch it because that's wild to me. Because we
I-
tend to have similar thoughts about
Yeah.
books. So I'm gonna really need to watch that live.
I mean, you
show.
guys did 4 stars with this one.
Yeah.
I think more than any other genre, this is the one where you never know what anybody's going to think of a book. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy how we can all read the same book and even
The
have the
duality.
same thoughts, but it's like, did we like that thing or not? Right? Like we all
Mhm.
agree that it was silly, it didn't make a lot of sense, and it was ridiculous, but it's like you either enjoyed it or not, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun overall.
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank Engines is crazy.
My recommendation for a train book is Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin
Ooh.
Stevenson. First, you have to read Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. But if you want like a ridiculous train book that is claustrophobic and it's silly but on purpose, this is the one. Like it's very self-aware.
Purpose.
Everything that happens, it's ridiculous. It's like the book knows that it's doing that.
Okay, that
So-
sounds fun.
That'd be my recommendation.
Wow, I love that you actually like gave a rec that's like aligned with the book and I was like, but I would recommend. Oh, I'll give you this. That's not about this genre.
I know the two of us were like, anyway, so here's what Kayla did not ask for.
That
You
was
know
the
I'm
biggest
here for whatever we want to talk about. That's fine. I try to guide us, and then if we go off, all the better. Okay, so that's everything that we needed to talk about with this ridiculous book. I haven't had a 5-star for my book club this year, I don't think. In fact, I've read maybe like 10 or 20 mystery thrillers, and I haven't given a 5-star at all. So I'm banking on Julie Chen is Dead because everyone tells me I'm going to hate it or love it. People are like, this is going to be your next 5-star. And then people say, Kayla, you're absolutely going to detest this book. And I just want to know what people mean by
What is
that.
it about?
Okay, so Julie Chan there's these twins and one of them dies and the other one decides to take her identity as this famous influencer and like take her life and get all of her followers and live her luxurious time. But then the person who actually killed her sister is after her now. So she has to, but then it's also like a lot like Yellowface as far as commentary on many things.
Mhm.
I've heard it's similar to Yellowface, and then there's also a couple like horror books that people have compared this to. So I think it goes off the rails. I think
Wow,
like something
interesting.
ridiculous goes on with it, and I'm trying to avoid anyone talking about it because I don't want to be spoiled so
Is it a
bad.
new release?
Yeah, it just came out a couple months ago.
Oh, interesting.
Everyone's talking about it, and I must know. So I've selected it for next month, or this month. So that's what's happening, and I will see you guys later with our next discussion in a month. Thank you, Chanel and Elias, for joining me for this one
Of
and making
course,
the time
always
for me.
fun. An annual get
So
together.
good every summer.
I love being here. So
I appreciate you guys very much for your time, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.